Boy, Jamaicans are into everything. I mean, we are everywhere. If it's good and it's popping, there's a Jamaican in it. If it's bad and it's popping, there's a Jamaican in it. Why you do it, Damien? Junker Damien, why you do it? Over here making us look disgraceful at a time when they are discussing ramping up the immigration deportation program in the United States of America. I'm sitting here checking out Fox News, right? And the czar of immigration that was elected by Donald Trump to do this work right now is saying, come on, press gas. We need more deportations. I'm not pleased at the speed of which it's going. I need more of them caught every day, and I need more planes leaving the ground with more people. In the midst of all this, guess who they pull up on Fox News for an example of the type of people that are the top of the list that they want to get out of the country? They could have chose any other country in the world. They could have chose any other criminal in the world. But nah, it had to be a Jamaican. So here are the details of this embarrassing ass story. According to Fox News, a Jamaican illegal immigrant in the United States was arrested in Florida Panhandle last week for sex crimes involving a child, according to the Bay County Sheriff's Office. Now, you know, in recent times, man, we've been covering a lot of story, and it seems to be a trend. Like, there are so many Jamaican men who are caught up in this type of situation, whether it's accusations or leave the children alone, man. But this story gets really, really deep. Pause, no pun intended. This story gets really deep because there's an angle to this story that will make you say, lock him up and throw the keys away forever. Some people would say, do him even worse than that. Sheriff Tom Ford said that the Jamaican illegal alien Damien Golgar, who is 44 years old, has been officially charged with unlawful sexual activity with a minor and engaging in sexual intercourse without, get this, without disclosing that he is HIV positive. So not only are you here in the United States of America illegally, you're here in the United States of America messing with children, and you're here in the United States of America giving them your HIV status, positive, transferring AIDS to people's children. He's probably doing it to grown women as well. And God forbid, or who knows, whoever else he comes in contact with. But he is a person who does not disclose his HIV status. Golgar was arrested on January 29th, allegedly admitted to being HIV positive and being sexually involved with a teenager during an interview with law enforcement. So, you know, they bring you into custody. They got you in that little padded room. And it is said by U.S. authorities that he admitted everything. How did they find out about him? How did they catch him? Here it goes. Ford said that the office became aware of the crime when it received a report surrounding the sexual abuse of a minor earlier in January. So, of course, an investigation was sparked. The teenage victim was then interviewed by the Child Protection Team at the Gulf Coast Children's Advocacy Center, where the encounter with an adult man, later identified as the Jamaican illegal immigrant Golgar, was disclosed. Took the teen interviewed the teen. The teen told them everything. The victim met Gogar on social media, on an app, on a social media app. They didn't say which app it was. Was it Instagram and he slid into her DMs? Was it Facebook? Was it Snapchat? They didn't say what app it was. But the child said, I met him on an app. And I didn't actually know who he was. Bay County authorities were able to successfully identify him as the subject through techniques that they use with crime analysis and search warrants. He went on an app, propositioned a minor, pretending to be somebody and something else, met up with this minor, and had full-blown intercourse. Listen, a lot of you out there who are parents or aunties and uncles and grandparents and whatnot, it takes a village, right, to protect a child and steer a child in the right direction and raise a child properly, send them off into the world undamaged. Y'all got to start looking out. This ain't back in the day when we didn't have social media and all that other stuff. Things were dangerous back in the day, but things are 100 times more dangerous today. Simply because a predator can reach into your home without walking through your doors or your windows. Right on that device, that little tablet, that little phone, whatever it is that your child has in their hand. And we got to start moving more carefully as grown people to protect these children. This is exactly how Gogar was able to get to this young teen. Authorities also learned that Gogar was in the U.S. illegally after they had apprehended him. So what they were investigating originally was a sex crime case. And when they got to him, they found out he's an illegal alien. He's in the U.S. because he came here on a visitor's visa and he decided to just not go back to Jamaica. Once his visa expired, he just started moving around in the country to evade authorities and decided that he would just stay here. In Jamaica, we say, you run off. The sheriff said that the crime is a very concerning situation for multiple reasons. He said the crime is a very concerning situation that involves a few things that the office is working to try to combat. Sexual abuse of our children, children meeting and interacting with adults online, and illegal immigration. All of the above. Sexual abuse of our children is something that we are not going to ever tolerate, he said. We got zero tolerance for that. We're proactive with that. He also asked that the parents monitor their children, monitor your kids' social media accounts, and educate them on the dangers of meeting up with people they have met online. I don't know if you recently saw a very famous person, right? What's his name? DJ Academics. Now, whether this was a joke or not a joke, it was distasteful and it was exposed to the public. DJ Academics was on Twitch streaming and had an inappropriate conversation with a little boy. At first, I thought to myself, here we go again. Somebody is looking for publicity. But then I tuned into the show that had Charlemagne on it, and DJ Envy, and Jess Hilarious. And I was shocked when they played the actual conversation with DJ Academics. Even the young child was saying The young teen was saying, hey man, that's grooming. And I say that to say this. Make sure that your children, your grandchildren, your niece, your nephew, make sure they understand what grooming is. Because that predatory adult gets online, gets in touch with your child, and starts to groom your child through conversation. And if your child does not recognize that they're being groomed, before you know it, they end up in a full-blown situation. They have to be taught how to recognize these things and to back out and get help, report something to somebody right away. So he's asking the parents out there to monitor your kids, monitor their social media accounts, educate them on the dangers of meeting up with people online or going out into the world to physically meet people they have met online. A lot of these predators will pretend that they are teenagers as well because they already know that they're breaking the law. They already know that they're talking to a teenager. They already know that it's illegal. They already know that if this teenager finds out that I'm not a teenager and I'm a creepy adult, they might report me or they might end the conversation. So they will pretend to be teenagers as well to lure that teenager in. In this particular case, you have a teenager sending nudes, thinking she's sending nudes to another teenager that's her age group. She sees a boy she likes, only to be lured in by a grown 44-year-old man. And then it gets dangerous because she leaves the house and she goes to go meet up with this predator. And then finds out this predator is a man, and then pressured into participating in intercourse with an adult who is HIV positive and said nothing about being HIV positive. On the illegal immigration front, Ford said that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, was notified of the Jamaican's arrest, which places him now on a ICE hold. ICE hold basically means they'll be putting together your deportation package. Now, once the state charges are resolved, then he'll be turned into ICE custody. But for right now, he is in state custody with a ICE hold, meaning the state will not release him back to the streets. They will eventually turn him over to ICE. That could be 10 years from now after he's done doing a prison sentence. That could be next week if they decide to send him on his way. He actually had intercourse with this child. So I don't think they're just going to send him on his way. He then touched on illegal immigration in the state of Florida. And as a lot of you know, SouFLoTV stands for South Florida Television. We are in the state of Florida. He said that the Biden administration did nothing to help alleviate this type of stuff. And this puts us in a situation where we are now. With the borders being opened the other day and so many people coming in unvetted, this individual could be a sexual offender in Jamaica. This is not me saying this, even though my audience members know that I would say something like this. This is Tom Ford saying this. This individual could be a sexual offender in Jamaica. He could be a serial rapist from Jamaica for all we know. Or have a long rap sheet in Jamaica. We don't have that information because they are in this country illegally. I'm glad that we finally have an administration that is willing to step up and address this issue, because this is the kind of stuff that continues to happen, and it's not something that we are going to tolerate. Now, while he didn't share the specifics, Ford said that Bay County authorities arrested 9 illegal aliens accused of criminal acts during the end of January heading into February and transported them to ICE detention at the same time that this particular individual, Golgar, was also arrested. Why you do it, Jankro? Damian Golgar. How embarrassing. But you know what? Now it sticks out to us. Remember, in SouFLoTV, I said Jamaica needs to have in place a proper system for receiving deportees from overseas. We need to know who is coming back into the country. Some of these people's status is not found out in Jamaica. For instance, this individual, he is HIV positive. He is in the US illegally. Who's to say anybody in Jamaica knows that he is HIV positive? And now he is on his way back to Jamaica eventually, right? Because he will be deported. So now we have a individual who is known to have sexual encounters and not disclose his HIV status. Jamaica is such a small island. That stuff can spread like wildfire, especially with promiscuous behavior from so many people. I don't even know how people are still promiscuous sexually in 2025 and beyond. But here we have an individual that's a perfect example of why the government in Jamaica needs to have a system in place when receiving people who are deported into the country. I've said this before. There should be a building. That building should house people on different levels. Some people, all they did was overstay their welcome in another country and they're being sent back home. They just left home. 3-4 months ago they got caught. Now they're back in Jamaica. They understand the system. They're adults. They get let go quickly. The ones who have been overseas, who are serving many years in prisons, you don't know their mindset. Some people are on psychotic medications. They are deported into the country without these medications. Some people need to be tracked because they are serial murderers, serial rapists, psychotic individuals who should not be just released among the Jamaican population, but they will be. Could you imagine if Damian Golgar goes through immigration in Jamaica and somebody says, all right, Damian, them dip you. Welcome back. Don't make no trouble here. Go on about your business. And he just walks off into the sunset in Jamaica. And then he's around the island slinging pickle, spreading HIV, and not telling anybody. Or continuously molesting children or having these encounters with children. So you see the need to have certain individuals on record, their status checked, documented, and them monitored after they are deported back into the country. I'm going to leave this one right here for you. I say if a egg we in the red, Jamaicans in everything. If it's good, we in it. If it's bad, we right there too. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.